welcome back to the Fermented World Homebrew channel. Today we're looking in on the MINT Mead, which was made using some garden mint from my garden. I believe this was 1.100. I'm not 100% sure on that because for some daft reason I haven't written anything on it, but that is what I believe it started at. So we're gonna give it a taste, take a hydrometer reading and see where we're gonna go from there. So first things first, let's pop this airlock in some sanitizing water, as we're gonna use it for the next demijohn it goes into. So we'll just make sure that it's all clean and sterilized. And we're going to dip in, take a hydrometer reading. And see what we've got. Now it's been quite a while until this was brewed, so it should very well be 100% dry, all going well and nothing going untoward. And yep, we have got it 100% dry. No sugar left in there. We are down to, it's right on the 9, so 0.99, which means there is absolutely no sugar left whatsoever. We're going to need a little glass to take a taste. And this will tell me whether we need more mint. Now, I don't think the mint itself would have fermented. Oh gosh, that's lovely. But is it minty enough? That's the question. I'm just going to go check in the garden and see whether the mint plant's still got any viable leaves on it. Okay, so we've popped back out into the garden and we've managed to hustle up a small amount of what's left on the plant. Didn't think about taking some off beforehand, so I probably should have done that, but we are going to need some more of this in secondary to give it a fresher flavour, because although that does have a mintiness, I think when we add the honey to it, I think it's going to mask a lot of that. So possibly, if I was to brew this again, I'd probably use double the amount of mint in there as well. I mean, it's actually giving it a sort of a green tinge, which you don't notice when it's like that there, but I like it. So that can go in here, and it's all been sterilised, so we don't need to waste none of it. We're going to hoy that up there. We're going to rack this off into here. We're going to put our stoppers in, and then as it's going through, it'll be mixing it up as well. Half a teaspoon of potassium sorbet, which is the actual fermentation stopper. Stops the yeast consuming any more sugar. It doesn't kill the yeast, as some people say. It just stops it consuming any more sugar. Somebody explained it to me. I believe it was, oh, what's their name? I'm too busy doing my own videos these times. I don't get much time to look at other people's videos. Brian and Derricka are their names, and I cannot think of the bloody YouTube channel. I nearly had it. I'll put it up when I remember what it is, because I will remember. I'll go and check what it is. And they're really clued up. They know exactly what they're on about. I'll even tag them in because they taught me so much. And we do things a little bit differently, but that's okay. Everybody finds their own way of doing things, you know, which is perfectly fine. But I did learn a lot off them, and they are very, very clued up. It keeps coming into my head, but then it's not what I think it is. So that's the potassium sorbet and the campden tablet in there. We're now going to rack off, which I'll speed up. And after it's racked off, we'll add some honey and the other mint, which shouldn't ferment. It should just give us flavour, fingers crossed, or I'm going to have to add more. I don't want to take too much off the plant because it's seeding at the moment, so I kind of don't want it to not seed and then it not come back the next year or something like that. Although I think it's perennial, I think it will come back anyway. And by God do they grow. You put them in here and then they grow over there, there and there. So if you want a big patch of your garden covered, plant some peppermint, or common mint as it's sometimes known. So let's speed this up. Okay, so we've racked it off. It's got a nice taste to it, but we do want to add more of this. Now, I might go and pick some more because I need it to have at least triple the amount of flavour. But again, I don't want to damage my plant to the point where it won't come back. I'm going to leave it as it is. We're going to put this in. What I did last time is, if you remember, I sterilised it. Should I weigh it out? Yes, I probably should. It would probably be a good idea. There was a little tub around here somewhere I was using. Yes. We'll quickly measure what we've got. There is a bit of water on them as well because I have put them in the steriliser. We don't want anything on them, critters or yeast or anything like that to start. It helps if I turn the bloody thing on, doesn't it? Blue, be quiet. Okay, so that's 2.7, so let's say 3 grams for the grin. And this won't be fermented. So again, I didn't chop it up last time. All I did was bruised it. So I took a bag as John Cleese would say, I gave it a damn good thrashing. As you probably know, when you brush past a mint plant, even gently, it does release its aroma. So we want that aroma and flavour in here. So we just beat it a little bit. I mean, it looks a bit mashed up. I've even put stems in this time because, you know, why not? It's all got flavour, I'm sure. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to scrape that out and place it in there. I mean, the smell of that is extremely, extremely powerful. Oh, we need to add the honey still. I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm getting excited. So in with the mint leaves, about 3 grams again. And obviously I've never done this one before, so we'll just learn from it as to whether it needed more or it needed less, and so on and so on. Quick rinse of the hands. Now my mind's saying I should have put more in, but again, trial and error, we learn as we go. Hopefully I make the mistake and then you don't have to. Hopefully you see this and then you've already seen the conclusion at the end as to how how good it was. Maybe put off, when I say it's a pilot batch, maybe put off following it until you know that it's been completed, so to speak. Let's see if we can just rinse these bits off the side, because they're no good to us stuck on the side, are they? Right. So now we're going to rack from here back to here, and you'll notice the last two meads have been put into brown demijohns. Now, oh shit, what am I doing? Hold up. I haven't even put the flipping honey in. God damn it. So, again, getting ahead of myself, talking about the mint. The other day, I was so ahead of myself, I ended up flipping putting 2 lots of honey into this and balls that up. I say balls it up, but we don't fail, we learn. Simple as that. Always learning. You got to take it on the chin sometimes. So this is the honey that we've got. This is half of one. I've already measured it out because the last one I used was half of one. So this one will be half of one. It'll give us about a 1.020, so I call it 20, on the, whatever the bloody hell that's called, hydrometer. Good, Bennett. And yeah, that's about the right sweetness for me, I reckon. That's where I'm happy. About the 20 mark. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take some of this solution now and we're going to use it to rinse this out with. But we're not going to be adding oxygen to it. What we're going to be doing is very carefully. I do apologise if you can hear noise. My kid's playing on his VR headset. He feels the need to be noisy, even though I asked them to bear in mind that I'm making a video. So they easily forget, don't they? The amount of times I've had to restart a video because they've come in shouting or like, Dad, Dad, he's doing this or she's doing that, and I'm just there like, Twitch. They do their best, and that's all you can ask, isn't it, really? But sometimes it's a part that you can't do again. And it's really frustrating because obviously if you've racked something into something else, you can't really rack it back again then into the, you know, the bit that's got all the yeast that you've just dodged. Same with when you're brewing a beer. I don't know whether you watch my beer videos, I've got a couple I think. You know, you can't re-pitch yeast and things like that. It's just something that once you've done it, it's done. But yeah, bless them. For the most part, they do listen. So we're just trying to get all the honey out of it, but not bring, not add any oxygen to it. Although it's probably at a percentage that's okay, it's probably not going to harm it. Any nasties that may come from the bit of oxygen may possibly just be dead, killed off by the alcohol. Which actually we should probably check what this ABV stands at. I knew what the last one was, so I believe this was started at 100 and it finished bang on the mark. So we're looking at 14.96. So I'd just say 14.9. At 9.6 you could say 15. But it says 14.96, so I always go a little bit low just to, I don't know, debuffer it a bit. Now if it had fruits in it that had already fermented with it, I'd say yeah, it was definitely the 15 mark, probably above, because the fruits in your sugar's going to ferment as well. Right, so that's about as much as we're going to get out of that, which I'm happy with. It'll be a eat. And I'll put that last bit in a cup of tea or something like that. So, we need to mix this in now, which has got our stoppers and our honey in. Nice mix, but steady, because again, we don't want to add oxygen, we just want to mix the honey in. You don't need the power tool to do this, you can do it by hand, that's perfectly fine. I just find this a bit easier. Give it a good mix until you think everything's mixed, and then mix it a little bit more. City Steading, that's the people you should check out. Brian and Derek are from City Steading. Absolutely marvellous brewers. They're so knowledgeable, and you know, they taught me so much. Yeah, I've got to give it to them. In mead brewing, that is. Now in beer brewing, there's a chap called Brew Corner or something like that. I'll find out what it was, and I'll drop him a link up as well, because he taught me a lot. And it's good with the YouTuber community, because you know, we're putting all of our information out there as to what we put in things and how we do it. So it's not like we're keeping secrets from people. We want people to do what we're doing, you know. We want people to try and make our meads and let us know what they were like when they brewed them, what they liked about them or what they didn't like about them. Because feedback and information from people who follow you is priceless, you know. Right, let's give that a quick look in the corners, because that's where the bits are going to be hiding, in these corner bits here, if there is anything hiding in there at all. No, I think we're good. I will, however, give it a little stir without this in, just for good measure. And again, this is just a paint mixer, which I actually picked up from a local brewing store. He gave it me free. It was actually moving. I need to check out his website actually, because he's gone from a shop where obviously he's got to pay business rates, and you know, you pay for the selling to sell things there and that, and he's gone from that to like a warehouse setup where it's mail order. So a lot of the old brew shops and things like that, they're struggling. There's another one locally, but they just can't match other people's prices for grain, yeast, things like that. So yeah, unfortunately, they don't win that, unfortunately. So I believe that's all sufficiently mixed in. So we're going to pop that over there, and now we're going to continue to rack it off. Now the bit that's already in there, it won't matter. It'll all mix together. It'll all marry together and be happy as Larry. So the stoppers that are in there are going to stop this fermenting, which should, by rights, because if you look at those leaves in there on the side, they're a lot paler than the ones I've just put in, and we do have like a green tinge, sort of, almost, in the glass. So yeah, I can't remember whether I mentioned about why these are brown. There's no reason other than I bought a job lot of demijohns off eBay, secondhand, off a lovely lady who didn't brew anymore, and they were just a part of it. There's no particular reason why they're going in this. That's just what I've got, and I need a good run of demijohns, clean and emptied, ready for what I'm about to attempt. So yeah, I'm not going to give too much information, but it's going to be, does it do what it says on the tin? Pretty much. So let's finish this off quickly and we'll be back. And there we have it, 14.9. It's going to sit with those other bits of mint in there now, and the honey, and it's all just going to marry together, hopefully. Give us something tasting quite nice, hopefully with a bit more mint. if not, we will add more. So what I might do is go out, maybe take a couple more bits now, bag it, freeze it, and then if we need it, then add it. Mainly because it's coming towards the end of the season for mint. It's flowering, and then it'll just die off and go back until next spring. But it's been nice working with it. It's got a really fresh flavour. Obviously it's come straight out of my garden. It's been dunked in the sanitizer, so anything in there has been killed off, hopefully. And yeah, it was quite a nice mead to do. Instantly we've got bubbles, which is sort of alarming considering it shouldn't be fermenting, but yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. Stop fermenting. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon.